What's up, everybody? It's your man Danelle, aka Small Guy Promotions, aka the Omaha Fatty, coming with another podcast episode of What's Up Omaha. And today I have a great guest with me, someone who I've never formally met in person. This is actually our first time talking directly here through Zoom. But we've got William Wilcott. How you doing today?
I'm doing very well. How are you doing, Danelle?
I'm doing awesome, doing awesome.
Cool to have real-time conversation.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like it is such a great thing. As I was saying before, it, it it's great to actually get to see you and have that interaction with you real time. And we actually met through TikTok. So TikTok is for the older folks too. I mean, we may be a little older, but it's not just teenagers on there. Hashtag.
Take it over.
But yeah, so I can't remember exactly how we started following each other, but you know,
Because I saw your food and I'm like,
yeah,
I like food. I'm like, I've never heard of that place. What's this restaurant? You knew all these local places. And I thought, what a great service to the community.
oh man, you know what, I love to eat, man. That's like I was saying before, Small Guy Promotion started after my dad passed, and it was all with the idea of helping other people. How can I get some fulfillment and joy out of life? And it just turned into my passion to help other businesses in some way grow, and that's the whole goal. What you said, I let people know about places that they may not know about. So it's really cool. And Omaha Fatty spun off from Small Guy Promotions, so that's why there's both of them now, and I love it. I love it. I really do love it, man.
That's fabulous. And I'm learning all about new kinds of food. I thought I knew all the restaurants around here, see? And now I see that I don't. And I'm from Omaha, so.
Well, see, and I'm a Bellevue guy too, so I say I'm a Bellevue guy because when my family moved to Omaha to Nebraska from Ohio, Bellevue is where we moved to. So
that's the only thing we got to work on you about.
Go Buckeyes.
Damn it. We're gonna get killed, I'm afraid. I shouldn't say that. I hope it's a good game anyway.
Yeah, man. Do they play this year again?
It's the season opener.
Oh yeah, because yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember seeing that. This has been such a crazy year with is there gonna be, is there not gonna be?
It's very surreal.
So I always like that game because it's one that I know that I'll get to watch since I don't have cable. Ohio State's not always on in the Omaha area.
Oh, right. Yeah, I don't have cable either.
Yep. So if it's not on regular TV, or I know that we'll get into it later, but there's a local place that you like to support and spend some time at. It's a great place. They've got TVs and stuff. So
yeah, they do.
But the whole reason for us, joining today is you are a wonderful instrumentalist, a violin player. You post videos on TikTok. Are you on other platforms as well?
I'm on Instagram, but I really haven't put too much there, and so I'm gonna develop that more.
Okay.
I'm so busy teaching.
Yeah.
I would like to say I've been really busy playing, but since the whole pandemic, I have not. So it's been a struggle for musicians of all genres.
That definitely it definitely has to be a hard thing to do. There's so many different types of businesses impacted by COVID and not being around people, and
right.
I don't know. I don't know how hard it is to teach someone online or make videos of it, or I don't know.
Teaching online is it's okay depending on how advanced they are. For beginners, it's impossible, I think.
Yeah. So how long have you been a violinist yourself?
So I've been playing violin for about 41 years.
Really?
Yeah.
That's why you're so good.
I better be able to play something by now, right?
Man, I've asked you in the past, like, hey, do you ever watch like movies, and like you're thinking like I can play that score or whatever it is, and
Yeah, well, it's funny about that because I lived in LA for a time and I actually did play in the studios for a little bit
really,
while I was there. Yeah, it's kind of tough to break into it, but I was fortunate, did a couple of things, played on a Neil Diamond CD, not
really,
as a solo player, but as part of a, small string section. That was
right,
a big deal though for me.
dude, that's huge. Like, not
Well,
a
it
lot
didn't
of
pay
people
that well,
do that.
but it's still cool to say I did it.
Dude, I was an extra in a movie, and I'm like, yeah, man, hey,
Yeah,
let's
nice.
watch that movie. I was in there, like, so
Do you remember that TV show Alias?
yeah,
Yeah, I played on that too
really,
in a string quartet. Yeah, except for I wasn't allowed to actually play. We had to fake play, but they wanted real players.
yep, I know how that goes. Like my thing was I had to walk by the camera. It was the election with Reese Witherspoon and Matthew Broderick at the time.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And it's like when you walk by, you got to make sure that your clothes aren't making noise and stuff. Like you have to be as quiet as possible. And
Kidding? Wow.
yeah, it's yeah, it's definitely different. So
Yeah. Well, so what was cool about the Alias thing? Even though I was like an extra, I wasn't considered an extra. So I got my own trailer.
really,
Yeah.
that's big time stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it was so cool. I always wanted that
Yeah.
experience. So.
So how did you go from being out in LA and whatnot? What brought you? Was is it back to Omaha, or where are
Yeah.
you originally from?
I'm originally from Omaha, born and raised,
Okay.
and I've been all over the country. I've lived in Florida. My dad died when I was 16. I went to the University of Omaha, Lincoln, um, at Cleveland Institute of Music, and then I moved out to LA and I studied without graduating from any of those places, by the way. Studied with this famous violinist, and then now he's dead though. So then I came back to Omaha, finished my degree, got my master's degree, even taught as adjunct at UNO for a while,
Okay.
and subbed in the Omaha Symphony, taught at Omaha Conservatory of Music, uh, and then just play where I can. Then I had kids, so no going anywhere.
Right. Right.
Yeah, especially if you get divorced, then you really
Oh,
can't go anywhere.
yeah, that time. Yeah, yeah. That time is definitely a struggle and that responsibility. I'm sure. Like it's
Yeah.
hard.
Kids always come first, though. That's so priorities.
Yep. Yep. It's definitely not easy. That I always say, like my wife used to travel a little bit, and it's so crazy. I would do like 2 days of like getting my daughter up and getting her ready from school or ready for school and stuff, and picking her up by myself. And I'm like, how do single parents do this? Like, I don't understand how they do it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's not totally single since we're co-parent. We co-parent, but
Yeah,
um, yeah, but it's hard. It's hard.
I
When
could
you're alone, you're the only one there. But I'm sure your wife has gone out of town, right? A lot, so or not a lot.
not. Yeah, not now. I mean, she used to travel for business. Um,
Okay,
but and it still wasn't like a lot, but it was a few times.
right. Enough so you know what it's like.
Yeah, yeah. So I definitely have a huge respect for anyone who's doing that at any time on their own.
Oh man, me too.
So with that, that prioritization of family first,
Right.
uh, so what is like the amount of time that you're actually doing live gigs and performing right now? Well, after that, and then currently.
Well, currently, like I said, nothing is going on because of this pandemic, so I'm mostly teaching. But before the pandemic, I played chamber music concerts with the group that you mentioned called Rangbrook
Hmm.
Ensemble. And then I played a concerto with orchestra. Concerto is when a soloist plays, they stand up in front of the orchestra and play. So that was pretty cool. And that kind of thing. And also, I always try to balance performing and teaching. Uh, so I don't know. I mean, my performing schedule is busy enough when the pandemic is not happening.
Yeah,
So I don't have anything upcoming even.
really.
Yeah, I don't think anything is going to happen until spring of next year.
Do you ever take like any smaller gigs or anything? Just
Oh
like,
yeah,
yeah.
I haven't. Well, I kind of swore off weddings for a while, but I might have to open that back up.
Well, I was just thinking like, as far as people that I know, I know the Rude Shrimp Company out there in, um, what was it? I always forget Waterloo.
Okay.
They are. I don't know. I think it's just during the weekends Fridays and Saturdays where they have open shows. Um, or they just started doing that this year. Actually, they have live music. They were having a stage area built out. It's an outside.
Okay. Cool.
I don't know if you've seen those videos or photos that I've shared of that place, Root Shrimp Company, or maybe it's Wahoo. Mitz, I always forget. Oh, you there, William? You got to freeze. Oh, I see you. You're moving again. I can't hear you now.
Of course.
There you go.
Now you can hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. All right. Fabulous. Sorry.
No,
I don't know what happened.
yeah, it is Waterloo. Yeah, water. Could you hear me that whole time? Or
No, you froze totally. Well, I heard you. I heard to the part where you said the stage was
built
they,
out?
yeah, built up.
Yeah, they're out there in Waterloo. I don't know what type. I mean, they're like an island theme, so I don't know if
Yeah.
violin would fit the
See,
scenery.
that's the problem with classical music too, and it's not that classical music is the problem, but it needs to be brought to the people a lot more than it is.
Well, I tell you what,
That's one of my reasons for TikTok.
really. Well,
Mhm.
that makes sense. I tell you, I wish she would have stuck with it. But my daughter, she was, she had to try out an audition for OAYO. Again, shout out to Omaha Area Youth Orchestra.
Right on.
She was pretty good, and what happened was we were in South Omaha at the time, and then we moved to Papillion, and Papillion doesn't have those options for music. They don't have those classes. They don't have strings.
Right.
So, I mean, and she was just
Neither
kind of like,
Catholic schools don't either.
yeah.
Private schools don't really. So
So it's like, really? Her being my oldest and being my first kid going through the school years, I was just kind of shocked that I'm like, really? That's not like a thing everywhere. Like South Omaha had it, but you don't have it in Pavilion.
yeah,
So, I mean,
yeah, it's crazy, huh?
yeah, it is. And you were saying those big gigs that you had and stuff. Uh, there was one point in time in life where she was like, "Hey, I want to play at the Grammys," like with her viola. And
Yeah,
yeah, dude, like keep
I
at it.
love that.
Yeah. And now it's just like, well, she for whatever reason she lost interest in doing it since it wasn't available through school anymore. And we're just like, well, hey,
It's too bad.
whatever you want to do.
Well, now we're entering a time too, and I feel like I'm almost too old for this because I mean, I appreciate all genres of music, um, especially like I like uh, traditional folk music from all over the world,
Hmm.
and I love, and the violin is so versatile. And now people are playing, and the younger generation is starting to teach along with classical,
Right.
jazz, hip hop, um, whatever, swing. I guess that's jazz, and so that's really great. That's great to see. So
Well, and I think, uh, you know, like I was saying, if we didn't have OAYO, I would probably have never experienced that type of music directly.
mhm.
Like I would have never gone to a concert or to the Orpheum to see the few shows that we've gone down there to see. Um, and you definitely have to respect, and it's so clean and crisp, like the way that
Right.
you guys are able to perform and play your instruments. You know, I do wish that more people had that opportunity and got that as an experience at least once to see if it's something that they enjoy or not.
Right. I hate the stereotype of, stiff classical musicians and all that. It's just not the case at all.
Yeah.
It's not for the rich. In fact, most classical musicians that I know, including myself, uh, struggle financially quite a bit. So, and
Starving artists, as they say.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's sad too because you go to the Holland Center and the attendance is dropping. Uh, it's just sad to see, especially for such a great hall.
Well,
And
and music is tied into so many parts of life. I mean,
yeah,
you were talking about the TV show before. It's in movies. The most recent one that I remember going to see was, the John Williams, as I told you on TikTok. Uh, and they were doing, Indiana Jones and Jaws and
right.
the big old blockbuster hits back in the, 70s, 80s. Uh,
Was that at Holland?
uh, where did we see it? That was at the Orpheum, I believe.
Okay. So you know
Yep.
what Omaha Symphony is doing now that's really cool? Is they'll have like the Harry Potter movie up,
Hmm.
except for the orchestra, the live orchestra will play the soundtrack.
Really?
Yeah,
That, see
as
that?
as the movie plays. It's pretty sweet.
That is definitely something that people should experience. I really do believe that. And like you were saying a little bit ago, it's in so many different genres. Like I've seen people now who are playing hip hop, you know, and I don't know any of the guys' names, but through social media or like TV, you're seeing these guys on TV and they're taking a hip hop song and they're doing the instrumental with the violin or whatever.
That's right. Now, what's that group? They just came to Omaha.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Hang on, I'm gonna look it up. Just give me a second. Okay? Hang on a second. Um, anyway, so as I'm looking for this, yeah, it's called Black Violin. So it's two dudes, and they go around and they tour the country.
Yep.
And they just came to Omaha, and they are incredibly successful. So check them out.
Yep. Yep.
I'm just too old. If I was like 20 years younger, I'd be doing that stuff. But
Hey man, you know what?
I'm busy enough doing this.
You might be even more of a hit because you're not 20 years younger.
I guess so. I don't know about
Yeah.
that.
So
Imagine all the okay boomer quotes, all the comments. I get trolled so bad.
hey man, all you need is that one. And I've seen you've gotten some. I mean, I don't know if the people are following you or not, but I've seen a few of your videos where, I mean, you've had 100 or like more likes or hearts or whatever they call them on TikTok. I don't even know, but so
Yeah.
I see people are at least seeing what you're doing.
Oh yeah, yeah. My following is growing, so that's cool. And I'm very happy with getting the message of classical music out there, so it doesn't die.
So what's the goal right now? I mean, aside from getting more gigs, more work, what are some things that you're looking for to help with that?
Well, my goal, first of all, my short-term goal is just to get through this year. Let's just get 2020 behind us. I need to do my best to maintain a positive attitude, keep practicing, keep working, stay motivated. It's very easy in these times to get lazy, isn't it?
It is. It is. I approve.
I'd rather sit down and watch Cobra Kai. You
Yeah.
know, I love Cobra Kai.
Started watching that the other week. We got two episodes in. We're like, that's we don't want our 9-year-old to watch that.
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah.
We'll have to watch that later.
It's great though. Well, I was a big fan of the original Karate Kid. And then the other thing is, I think what you mentioned. Do I have a YouTube? Do I have an Instagram? Yeah, I have those things. Do I need to get performances out on there? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would like to educate. I've been teaching for over 20 years, so I'll do that. But I think the future is in social media.
Yep.
and that's where it's at, you know?
Yeah, and it's it's free.
Yeah, yeah, it's live streaming concerts. The other question is how do you make money, but I don't know. I haven't figured that part out yet.
Like, hey man, it just takes that one. You never know where it could come from.
You
You
never know.
never know. If the right person sees you, and
Yeah,
I tell you, man, I think you're doing it though. I mean, at least for me following you on TikTok, you're staying consistent with content on there. Um,
pretty much. I stray every once in a while,
but
but
it's still popping up. If I'm watching, even if I'm not on my For You page, or if I'm not on my following page, if I'm on my For You page, it pops up. I think sometimes.
it does.
Yeah,
Wow, that's
yeah.
cool.
So
Yeah, you popped up on my For You page as well.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, all it takes is that one person to remember seeing you play or hearing it and be like, oh, who is that? And
Right.
just getting that information out there and telling them who you are, and
So true. Gotta keep the faith,
you
faith
love
alive,
it.
spread the word.
Yeah, man, you love it. So if people are checking out your videos on TikTok, are you engaging with people outside of that? Like, are there any conversations that are starting from those?
Absolutely. People have approached me about lessons, so I've been teaching online. I've made a lot of uh, friends, professional contacts. It's really been great.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
it's a powerful tool. Like, and again, like I did want to talk about that too. We did not know each other at all.
uh,
We started following each other because of TikTok, and we're in Omaha, and we just started a dialogue at some point, and then I was like, you know what? It would be cool to have him on the podcast, man. And I hadn't had a violinist on the podcast. I've had hip hop artists. I've had or multiple hip hop artists. Um, I've had business owners, nonprofit organizations on.
oh,
Different.
that's cool.
Never had a violinist. I've had a tattoo artist. One of my friends, uh, or
Where
not a
can,
tattoo, a
so
piercing.
where can we find this again?
What was that?
Where can we find these podcasts?
Oh man, these podcasts are everywhere. You know what? This podcast is even out on places that I don't even know about.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, I found that out a while back, but I found it out like last week also, or no, 2 weeks ago. But we put it out on YouTube, and then aside from that, just the audio podcast is available through Anchor. But Anchor is for people who are just starting out, like you don't know exactly where you're going to go with the podcast yet, and you just want to get your feet wet and see how things go. But Anchor does all the work where it distributes your podcast to different platforms. Well, I know they have a distribution list through Anchor that tells you where it's going. Um, well, I found out just by Googling the What's Up Omaha podcast that it's actually also on iHeart Radio. Um,
Wow, that's
and
cool.
then I had my friend Ray on um, two. That was the one that was 2 weeks ago, and we had like an hour and a half
Well,
podcast, like my longest podcast ever, because he's my best friend. So
Rayon, is he a
and
is he a musician? Is it,
yeah, and one of the guys who
oh,
I talked with
cool.
on Twitter,
Hmm.
he actually shared a link to the podcast and said, "Hey, keep the over hour long podcast coming." And the link that he shared was one that I didn't know. It was podcast addicts, and I was like, I didn't even know that it was on there. I'm like, that's cool. It's just so who knows how many platforms it's actually on.
Wow.
But I'm happy for it. I've been doing it for a couple of years off and on, but this last year and a half, maybe I've been trying to make sure to stick with it. Like you were saying, like I'm trying to make sure to do this and be consistent with
Yeah.
it.
This is a perfect time for podcasts.
Yeah, and
Now that people are stuck at home a little more, and
yep, and
it's been,
I just hope people enjoy it.
and you have an Instagram too?
Yep, I'm on Instagram. I'm Instagram, Facebook, and it's under Small Guy Promotions on all of that. But
Okay. So
Facebook.
Rayon, does he have a TikTok?
Who's that?
Your friend?
Ray? No, he doesn't. He's not a social media guy.
Oh, okay.
And that's part of what we
What's his
talked
name
about.
again? Ray? What's his name?
Ray
Ray.
Raymond.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. He's
So
not a social. Okay, that's fine.
yeah, no, he's
We got to get him on there.
he actually when I sent the message to him, he was like, "Hey, I didn't think this through too much. I didn't know you were gonna tag me." I'm like, man, you're my guest. I'm gonna tag you. So uh, he's just
You
like,
know what's funny about TikTok? I think it's pretty much the number one social media platform right now.
yeah, yeah,
And
definitely.
you have 1 minute or less to get people's attention, state your case. But I found TikTok to be the most supportive community.
I can see that.
So yeah, online anyways, social media wise.
I can see that.
Everybody's so nice to each other. I mean, yeah, you still have some trolls, but uh,
Everywhere. That's just
yeah.
everywhere.
But for the most part, people are so good there, I think.
And I think maybe that is like a benefit because it's just a minute. Maybe with they always say that attention spans are shorter nowadays. So it's like,
TikTok's not helping with that, but that's okay.
but yeah. So I mean, people are like, "Oh, let me jump on real quick." They're just scrolling. Oh, let me look at this. I know it's only going to be a minute. If I like more, I go to the page and I
Right.
get more that way. But yeah, it's definitely a huge thing, and it's great. All the news is coming out that TikTok wasn't going anywhere. It's staying.
Right. Yeah, we were all kind of sweating that one out a little bit.
You know what, man? I just was like, it'll be what it'll be. I'm gonna be out there somewhere regardless. So
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
let the chips fall where they may. We're just gonna keep grinding, and that's always the goal.
People were really freaking out though, remember? They
Oh,
were
they
making
were like,
videos
I'm like, hey man,
crying. I'll miss you guys.
yeah, there's other platforms, and I know some of the people were saying, hey, just in case TikTok does go away, find me on Instagram.
That's what I did. Yeah. Ended up
So
giving my email to a lot of people and stuff. So
yeah, I didn't stress it. Like I said, my whole vibe with small guy promotions is just keep chipping away, keep chopping away at the tree, and eventually the tree
there
is
you
going
go.
to fall. And
Yeah, you should share your Instagram and also the your
oh
handle
yeah,
for TikTok.
yeah, they're all on here. It's always, well, not always. It's small guy promo 13.
Small guy promo. All right. Well, I'm gonna follow you today on Instagram. That's probably linked on your TikTok anyway.
Yeah, I've got YouTube and Instagram linked on there
Okay.
for sure.
It,
Um,
yeah, it depends on what algorithm you get into. Like, you know, I got away from all the kid stuff, and now I follow people, artists, and a lot of foodies, a lot of chefs. I've
yeah,
learned so much about cooking from TikTok. It's amazing.
dude, there's so much food, so much.
Yeah, have you learned anything about cooking from there? Because I've got some really good.
I've seen just general content, not even just specific to cooking. Like I remember, I saw one where this person folded this chip bag. When
Oh,
you
I know what
fold
you're
it up, it just always unrolls. But she folded it like kind of like when you make a paper airplane. She folded the corners down,
right.
a pyramid at the top or a triangle, and then you fold that down and tuck it in, and then you roll it. I'm like, dude,
Can you
dude,
do that now?
yeah, I can do it now. Yeah, I mean,
Did you make
I do edit the video, and I made one of me doing a Frito Lay bag, and it
Oh my
worked.
God. I'm sure I've seen it. I want to see that again. That's pretty.
But
Well, if
man,
you want to see me, then go to Will Fiddle. One word.
there you go. Will Phil. And that'll be, I was going to ask you, I always give an opportunity at the end of the podcast for the guests to, let people know where they can be found at. And then I'll also put it in the details of the show, of the podcast, so people can know where to find you, whether it's on TikTok, Instagram, your email, whatever information you want people to know. you can let them know where to find you. That's the whole goal of this, just to help people grow, man. And like I said, I'm sure I don't see all of your videos, but I see a decent amount, and you're really good. You care to
That.
say anything? I mean, I saw you with your violin earlier. Are you able to just?
What are you talking about? Play something?
Yeah.
There you go, man.
So for me, and I've always been like blown away by like just different types of artists, not just music, just someone who draws something or paints or whatever. Like the fact that you guys are able to do that, like my brain, it's not trained to work like that. So when I see you guys doing that, and you're not even reading the music, you just played that. Like
Yeah.
it's just crazy to me, and it's a real talent, man. And I hope you never short sell yourself or anything, because I mean that it's amazing.
I appreciate it. Well, you lift weights, right?
Sometimes,
A little bit. All
sometimes.
right. You know, muscle memory.
Yep,
A lot of it's muscle memory. It's
yep,
or you remember a time that you had to memorize a speech in class or something like that, right? The
yep.
closest thing that classical music is related to actually is acting. So it's sort of a recreation. So actors get a script, but you can go off script,
Yeah,
and you can definitely put your own embellishments on each word. So it's it's an art for sure. But I don't know. I'm reminded of Bruce Lee's quote about authentic expression, and he said just authentically express yourself.
yeah,
That's what it's about.
yeah. And that's what I mean. That's what sets people apart too, right? Like, and not even just that authenticity, but interpretation also.
Right.
The way that I say a word, you probably don't say the word the same way.
Probably
That.
not. We each assign our own definitions, our own meanings to words, don't
Yeah,
we?
yes. So that's what makes it interesting, and makes it even more remarkable, because somebody might play the same music, but it sounds different.
Yes. Right. Just like if two actors read the same script, it would be different. You seen Back to the Future?
Yeah.
Uh, you're right. So you can, I don't know if you knew this, but Eric Stoltz was actually hired to play that role first.
Oh,
And you,
really?
yeah, you can go as Marty McFly. You can go on YouTube and you can watch the, I don't know what they're called, the rehearsals or whatever with Stoltz acting, and you
Yeah.
can see the difference between Michael J. Fox and Eric Stoltz. Same thing with music.
Yep. Yep. Dude, yeah, it's definitely, and like you said, repetition. Like it doesn't just happen. Yes, you may have talent, just like with other things. There may be some inherent talent that you have, but it doesn't go from 0 to 100 without practice.
Yeah,
Like, and
yeah.
you said 42 years.
42 years, yeah, and a lot of those years were 3 to 6 hours a day.
So
And then you got to still play from the heart, it's got to be from the heart.
yeah, and so can I ask you, what is it that? How did you start down the path of being a violinist?
Yeah. So I actually started. I'm a product of the public school system. There was a school back in the day, and how long ago was that? 1982 or whatever. I don't know. I don't even remember. No, 1980. Yeah. I was in third grade, and I was 7, and I went to a school called Conestoga in North Omaha,
Hmm.
and I heard a Suzuki teacher playing, and that's what I wanted to play. And so I went home, and then my dad, he's like, okay, if you're going to play, you have to practice 30 minutes a day. And so I did, but he didn't know that I was going to get good. I just did.
Yeah.
And, and then one day I was at this bookstore called the Antiquarian bookstore. I don't know if you remember that at all. I don't know how long you've been here, but it's not here anymore. It was in the old market. It was a cultural icon.
I moved in '94.
Oh, so you remember the Antiquarian then? Is that used bookstore?
Was it on the?
It was like 3 floors. The top floor was a art gallery,
Is it? When did it close down?
and then Drastic Plastic was the downstairs that had the record store. Um, I don't know, around 2000 maybe.
Because well, no, that wouldn't be the bookstore that I'm thinking of then. Because there's been a bookstore that we've gone to, but it's been a few years, but it's not been that long.
Okay. Well, the Antiquarian that was the place. Anyway, some dude's like, "You want to play the violin?" And I was still a little kid, and he put on this recording of a very famous violinist, Yasha Heifetz, playing Tchaikovsky violin concerto,
Hmm.
and I don't know, it just captivated me. So I was like, I want to play that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From that to being an instructor, do you ever like coordinate with any other groups, like maybe the OAYO or Omaha Children's Choir or any of those other groups out there like that?
Yeah, yeah. I've coached. First of all, I was in OAYO when I was little, and since then I've coached for OAYO. Done string sectionals. I've also been a string assistant at OPS. And
Nice.
yeah, so enough to keep busy.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know if you have anything else that you want the people to know, but if you do, now is your chance, and then we'll get into you telling us where we can find you outside of this podcast.
I would just say give classical music a chance and open your ears up. It's not for the rich. It's not for the stiff. It's it will free you. It's not for relaxing or putting you in a mood. It's great, highly emotional music. So seek it
Can,
out.
can I tell you that I used to, and I can't remember exactly why, but this is back when they had cassettes still. I used to listen to Yanni.
Okay, yeah. I know that violinist you're going to talk about, that violinist, aren't you?
No, man, no,
Okay.
just the fact that I can't even. I might have come across Yanni in, like you said, in public school. I was in chorus and music and stuff, so maybe that's where I got introduced to it. But I just remember listening to Yanni on this old tape player,
Wow.
like
He was
back in the
huge.
day.
Remember? He was huge.
And I'm sure no one else that I knew was really listening to Yanni, back in that time. So
Yeah. I've never known a lot of people that listen to Yanni, to be honest with you, but
yeah, it was one of those weird finds, man, and it was just something that I was like 14 and I just dug it. I don't know,
no, that's cool. I wonder whatever happened to him.
yeah, I don't know. Now I have to Google after we get done here.
Yeah, me too. I want to know. Where
All
are they?
right, well,
All right. Well,
William, where can everyone find you?
I would
TikTok.
go to TikTok. Yeah. Just go to TikTok. It's at Will Fiddle, one word. And I have videos there, and you can be a member. You can direct message me. If you want to reach my email, it's wolcott.william@gmail.com. And
And
go
oh,
ahead. I'm sorry.
no, I was just saying, go ahead, that last part.
Oh, I was gonna say I also have a studio at the Hot Shops, so you can look
Uh,
me up there too.
so the question that I was going to ask after you said your email address was, what kind of scheduling do you have available for people looking to start up lessons?
Well, I'm pretty flexible, so it just depends. You'd have to call, but I teach every day, so I can squeeze you in there somewhere.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to myself or William. I know he'll be more than happy to help you. And check him out if you're out there on TikTok. That man, I mean, he gets it in on the violin. Um, a lot of times it reminds me of like just some kind of movie. Like I just feel like it's music that should be like in a movie. When I hear it, I'm like, oh man, it's just so dramatic. Like I can't even explain.
Sense, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, please reach out to William if you have any interest in learning or possibly starting a class, or if you have a child or someone who might be interested in violin, you have questions, ask William. Um, if you're listening, please share, help us grow. The whole concept of the What's Up Omaha podcast is to help people grow and focus on community and building something great together. How I used to always say, let's grow together. So let's do that. Help William out, help Small Guy Promotions, help What's Up Omaha, and let's just do it. Smile, help someone else smile, laugh, and help someone else laugh all day, every day. And go subscribe on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. Thank y'all so much. Have a wonderful day. Peace out, y'all. Yeah.